I'm Mark Smalls. This is Civil Discourse Now, September 6th, 2022. January 6th, 2021 was a day on which what occurred? If we can't agree on reality, what can we agree upon? What occurred on January 6th, 2021? Well, there's this view. That was a righteous thing where we went in there and we, the people, kind of, okay, fine. That doesn't work. Well, it was agents provocateur. In other words, it really weren't people that were MAGA people. They were FBI people and stuff. That doesn't work. How about it never occurred at all? Okay. Let's start with that last one, never occurred at all. Edward Abbey in The Monkey Wrench Gang, it was a novel from the 1970s, said if somebody says it, they're a nihilistic solipsist. In other words, nothing exists outside of themselves. Throw a rock at them. If they duck, they're not sincere. What are you going to say to, we watched it on TV, watched the moon landing too, those of us who were alive in 1969. I think you've got a heavy burden of proof if you're going to say January 6, 2021 events, the Capitol didn't occur. If you're going to insist on that, man, you got to have. There's no way to just try and convince you of reality. How about it was agents provocateur? Okay. Did somebody put on a fat suit and do an impression of Alex Jones? What about all those people who are in the crowd who were really brilliant, posted on Facebook and other places in social media what they had done that day? I think to say that it was staged by the FBI is pretty difficult to do. So how about it was a righteous thing because the people were rising? Let's realize that, as Trump said, if the Republican Party was looking at a situation where everybody could vote, the Republican Party never would win an election again. This iteration of the Republican Party has to suppress votes or steal elections. Now, I'm a Republican candidate for Indiana House, District 86 here in Indiana. I'm the nominee of the party. I'm running because I think that the Republican Party, once a progressive party, fought for abolition of slavery, for a clean environment, for equality, for many things. The progressive has been hacked by people who have anything but progressive ideals, and they really don't care about the country. What they want is something that is hardly something that reflects freedom. But January 6th was not a righteous thing. Trump lost by over 7 million votes, popular vote. He'd lost the previous election too. But because of the electors and because Russia really did interfere in our elections in 2016, he was able to steal that office, pad his pockets, put people in positions, judgeships, where he could benefit. So he didn't want to see transition of power. And we're really at a difficult time right now, because if the Republican Party in this iteration is allowed to seize power, and they'll seize it, they'll never give it back. Everything that they're trying to accuse people on the left of, they're committing. I'm a pacifist. Most acts of domestic terrorism in the United States, according to our statistics from the Department of Justice, are committed by people on the right. They're using violence now, threats of violence. Why, if Trump isn't allowed to win this time, if you throw people in jail, you charge him with a criminal offense, there'll be riots in the street. No, there won't. We saw what a possible civil war looks like on January 6th, 2021. We saw a lot of lazy, fat bastards wanting to storm the Capitol. And the worst part was seeing an individual walk through the Capitol building with what most people call a Confederate flag. People, who defend a noble cause, which wasn't noble, it was racism, say, well, that's not a Confederate flag, that's a flag of the Army of Northern Virginia. It's part of the Confederacy. It's a Confederate flag. Waving that, walking through the Capitol building, that really was galling because a lot of people died to make sure that the Union was made whole. And it was those people under that flag who wanted to enslave people. Read the secession statements. There were 4 states that clearly had secession statements. Virginia kind of did. And they all said they wanted to do the same thing, protect slavery. So what is reality? Reality is that we have a crisis, constitutional crisis. It's been going on for a couple of years now. We have to make sure that our laws are obeyed. And we have to make sure somehow people understand that actually this was an experiment. That's what this government was. And it's been patched together and kept whole a couple of centuries and more. Mark Small is Civil Discourse Now. Peace, love, happiness, all that good stuff. Have a good evening.